What is happening, y'all? We are back at it again with another video. We're reacting to 100 million productivity hacks with Alex Hormozi by, of course, Chris himself. So, this is part 3, and hopefully I can finish the rest of this video within the full consent of me finishing it. Because I couldn't finish it doing part 2 because I made it a 25-minute video. I'm like, I'd rather not make it a 45-minute video. So I'm like, you know what, let me just make a part 3. So, let's dive into this. I'm gonna go grab some coffee, so I'll be right back. Alrighty. Now that I got my coffee, we can actually lock in. So let's lock in and do that.
We're one of the only social media agencies that guarantees 1 million views or you don't even pay. But honestly, that is just kind of what we say for marketing. If you give me 15 seconds, I'll explain how this actually works. So what actually happens is after 90 days of posting, our average...
It was always like, I will do what's required. And that's been a really help.
Oh, I will do with what is required. If we are not required to make that emphasis, to make that understanding, to make that perspective, to make that belief, then we are not doing with what is required. And what he is implying is that if we are required to do it, we are required to do it. So don't stop and keep on stating whatever it is you are required to do. Because when we are required to do something, we must do it. We must fully succeed. We must fully understand.
Refrain for me when I'm confronted with, especially when you know what needs to get done. And the second one is, but I'll know.
Especially when you know when it needs to get done. If you don't know what needs to get done, it is the goal. It's the goals. It's the dreams. It's the aspirations. It's the beliefs at the end of the line and at the end of the MAC. Because without these goals, dreams, understandings, perspectives, and beliefs, then we may never know when this life will lead us to. Isn't that right? And through this, we must know with what we are trying to do and what we are trying to say is two polar opposites of what we are trying to unlock, do, believe, or understand.
And so, like, even if it does go well, and even if everyone else says it's,
Even if everybody says it's great, even if everything is going well, you could still be at rock bottom and everything is going fabulous for you. I'm at rock bottom right now, but that's because I know what I'm doing. I know what I need to do. I know what I need to say. I know what I need to tell. But at the same time, I might never know where this rock bottom will lead me to, which is the best part about life. The best part about understanding about how we go through. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
but I'll know.
If everybody says it's great, but I will know if I'm not doing enough. I will know if I'm not stating everything. I will know that my dreams, my realities are not coming into fruition because I know that I'm not ready to understand, to perceive, to believe, to do the things that I state that I need to get done. Because I will know with what needs to get done, what needs to get done at the end of the day. So, if everybody says it is great and you are still at rock bottom, you must pull yourself out, pull yourself through, pull yourself through the understanding that you are trying to get better, that you are trying to understand, that you're trying to perceive.
And it'll then rob me of all of the joy of all of those moments in that experience because
It'll then rob you of all those moments of joy within that experience. And if it robs you of joy in that experience within all of those moments, then you must know that you need to pull yourself out, pull yourself through and pull yourself to that belief system. Because if you wait to do it, and if you don't do it, then other people will do it. So,
It'll then rob me of all of the joy of all of those moments in that experience.
it will then rob you of all of those joy within those experiences, because the experience is where it's at. And it matters what you do, what you say, how you are, how you act, what you think, what you are, what you believe, because at the same time, you do not want to rob yourself of those experiences, because when you rob yourself of those experiences, then you might never know where this life will lead you to. Then you might never know what this thing is trying to do. You may never know because you are so afraid of being so stuck up where you can't even fathom where your life is going to, where your understanding is leading you to, where this belief pattern is trying to push you forward. And through that, we must know that even if we all go through certain frames, certain realms, certain things, we may never know where this life will lead us to. We may never know what this belief, this understanding, this pattern, this thought pattern, we may never know, because it robs us of the joy that we are trying to dictate within our lives. And if we let it rob us of that joy, of that happiness, of that pleasure, then what is the point in continually on moving forward? What is the point in trying to push and persevere? What is the point at the end of the line where we are trying to feel ourselves and try and do and accept? Even though we must know with what we have is what we are. You and me going fishing in the dark. Call your friends, we can sit under the stars in the sunset fill. If we let the joy be robbed of us, then why are we trying? Why are we moving? Why are we persevering? And through this, we must understand that we are all trying to get to certain frames, to certain realms, to certain thoughts. And through this, we must understand that we are trying to get better, that we are trying to see that person from the other point, from the other perspective, from the other perception. I really hope that makes sense. You and me going fishing in the dark. So if we allow the joy to be robbed within us of the moments that we are trying to do, think, understand, believe, then what are we waiting for? What are we trying? What are we doing? What are we acting on? Because at the same time, we might never know when this life will end. We might never know where this life will lead us to. Which I think is the best part about life, is that you might never know where this life will lead us to. Which is the unknown, it's the void. It's my number one favorite thing to talk about. Because if you're not following the void, you're not following your dreams. Comprehend? Push it to the limit. Man, I'm gonna get it with it. Okay. I'm really trying to with it. We're not playing to spin it. Laser mash them out.
experience because I'll know that I could have done better. And
I will know that I could have done better. I will know that I need to get more done. I will know that this experience is the betterment of myself, that this is the thing that needs to be persevered on. And if you know, then you know how to persevere. You will know how to do the things that you are afraid of. And if you don't do them, then you'll be held accountable. You'll be held accountable for your own actions because your own actions lead to your own temptations that lead to that certain perspective. So let's continue. We are getting good. We are getting deep. I love this. I love this video. Chris and Hormozi, if you guys are listening to this video, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video if you guys are listening. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, save it, come back to it. And most importantly, if you want to leave a comment, that would be greatly appreciated. So then you can tell me what next videos you want to see me make. Reaction videos to my own advice videos. I will talk about my perspective. That'll be the next video.
it's just like to quote myself from earlier, like I've never regretted working harder, ever.
I have never regretted working harder either. Because I would rather work harder at something that I love doing versus waiting and waiting and waiting until I get this thing unlocked, until I get this thing achieved. Because I would rather work until my eyes bleed and until my mouth cannot stop talking. And through this, it can make me last a lot longer. And whatever it is you're working hard at, continually on working hard. Because if you don't, you could regret it, and later down the line, you could remorse it, which is not good. I hope to God that nobody has it happen to you. Because if you do, knock on wood that it never happens to anybody else.
Not once. And some people are like, on your deathbed, you're gonna like, no, because I lived every moment of my day
On your deathbed, you're like, no, because I have lived every moment. I have tried every moment. I have done every moment. I have achieved every moment. And through this achievement, through this goals, through this mentality, then you might never know where this life will lead us to. You might never know what this understanding will bring us to. And most importantly, you will never know what this life will lead you to. So, don't allow you to do the things, say the things, and believe the things because you are afraid of stepping into the deep end, stepping into where the sharks want to play. Don't stop. That is when you push. That is when you continue. That is when you try a lot harder.
I wanted to do. And I remember I had a boss when my first boss after college, she said this thing. I had a particularly good weekend. And she said, I'm pretty sure happiness is stringing as many of those days in a row as you.
She's pretty sure that happiness is stringing as many days and those in a row to truly become that best version of yourself. I know whatever this best version, it is the best version of yourself. You are trying to pull yourself together, realize and do the things that you are afraid of. Because if you do not do the things, then other people will do them for you. And through this, we must understand what we are trying to do. And what we are trying to do is string as many of those happy days and as many as those days in a row so that we can become that better version. So we can become that better perspective at the end of the day. And through this, we must understand with what we are trying to do, with what we are trying to achieve, with what we are trying to say. Because if we do not know what we say, then we may never know where this life will lead us to. And I hope for the best for you, and I wish you the best within that next life that you are living. Because within this next life, nobody will stop you. Everybody's competing. Everybody is trying to get better. Which is at the same time, everybody is competing for something more. For something better.
Possibly can't. And although I hated the job, that piece of advice has actually been probably has been my blueprint for how to live, which is like my birth.
That piece of advice has been the blueprint for how he lives. If you don't string the happy days and conjugate the sad days and conjugate the conformity, and compact and conjugate the conformity, then you may never know where this life will lead you to. Which is the best part about the unknown and the void. Then you may never know what conformity will actually happen. Then you may never know what thing will lead you to that best version, or that thought, or that understanding, or that belief. You may never know because you are so afraid of running and jumping into the deep end. And when you run and when you jump, that is when you swim. And when you swim, that is when you go through life. So I wish nobody upon the best parts of myself to wish that life away. Because if this is a blueprint that he lives, this will be the blueprint that I live. Stringing the happiness, stringing the bad days, stringing the sadness. Because at the end of the day, we are all but nothing. We are all but what we say. We are all but with what we act.
It looks the same as my Tuesdays, which looks the same as my Sundays.
You know what the original name pool for this podcast was? This is the only time in history I've done branding my entire adult life, and with club nights, all you're doing is coming up with brands. Paradiso, oh, it's tropical. There'll be a flamingo. Skint, oh, it's a cheap night. It's for people to get.
As a person that watches so much of his podcast, that just makes me want to die laughing and die crying. Oh my god, Paradiso. I need a flamingo. Like what the fuck, Chris? Like what the fuck? Like seriously. You came up with Paradiso for this podcast. Para-fucking-diesel. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But what the fuck, mate? What the fuck? How do you go from that to that? Like, that's just mind-boggling. That's mind-fucking right there. And if he's listening to this, I really hope he's dying laughing too. So how you gonna lie? How you gonna lie like that?
Fingered in the corner. Like,
sorry, let's continue. That shit got me dying. That shit got me laughing, which is pretty good. I was not expecting that. That shit caught me off guard. See, even Hormozi is smiling. Oh my god, Christopher. Where are we going with this, buddy? Where are we going with this, Christopher? What the fuck?
All I did was branding, right? I was the branding guy. I'm pretty good at copywriting. All I did was branding. The one time I've had divine inspiration, 3 a.m, wake up with the name, was Modern Wisdom. The one time out of every business, every night, every brand I've ever come up with, that was the one time. But on the list of the others, Mind and Matter was one of them. The other one was a quote from Tim Ferriss. It's called Crushing a Tuesday. And he said that what you should aim for...
Crushing a Tuesday. I like that. I like that a lot. Because whatever we crush, whatever we do, it has to be on a Tuesday. Because if it's not on a Tuesday, then what are you wasting your week for? What are you wasting your time? What are you wasting your energy? What are you wasting your persistence? Because we have to go back to back to back to back. Because at the same time, we must understand that we are trying to crush a Tuesday and crush the rest of our week. Because if we do not crush Tuesday, then we may never know what we are trying to crush. So, let's continue and let's do this.
Life is for your average Tuesday.
What you should aim in life is for your average Tuesday. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to act? What are you trying to say? And what are we trying to do within this perspective, in this thing, in this action, in this understanding? Because if we wait, if we struggle, if we wait until that thing, then we may never know where this life will lead us to. Which I think is the best part about life. And you think it's the best part about life. So why don't we average for our excelling within an average Tuesday? Why are we waiting? Why are we stating? Why are we doing? Why are we acting? Why are we becoming this better version? Because we know with what we are is what we do. And if what we are and what we do is how we say, then how we say is what we are. Wait, did they walk there? Hold on. I'll be right back. Let's find out. hold on everybody, I really enjoyed this video, but I'm gonna go do something real quick. It'll take me 5 minutes and I'll come back to this because we are only about 1.5 minutes and this is about to been a 24 to 40-minute video. That's why I do multiple parts, people. So I'll see you guys in the next one, and as always, stay unique and stay you. I will see you guys when I come back. I'd rather not wait. I'll see you guys. Peace. What is happening, y'all? We are back at it again with another part. This is part 3, take 6 or 4, whatever the number. We are 34 minutes into this video, so that means I have to sum it up as best as possibly can. And let's go. Let's lock and load and let's get this stuff cooking. Let me just plug in my laptop because we are about to die. And do we want to die? No, we do not. That is a no bueno. So, let's see where this reaction video gets us to be cooking right now. So, we are back at it again with another part. And you should aim for an average Tuesday. That is one, I think, Tim Ferriss or Tom Ferriss or whatever the fuck he said. You should be aiming for an average Tuesday, which is your average day of the week, which means whatever your average Tuesday is, it is your average Tuesday. So whatever you do on average Tuesday, if it's scroll, if it's play video games, whatever it is, it's your average Tuesday. So what Chris is trying to say, hold on, excuse me. Excuse me again. I keep on burping. My acid reflex is kicking in high gear, but I don't give a fuck because I will keep on recording until my mouth bleeds or my eyes bleed with the anus of my butthole, which I do not want I do not want my butthole to bleed, because if it bleeds, then that's a no bueno. Then that means I got really bad stomach issues or intestinal problems, and that is a no fucking bueno. No bueno. Me select no buenos because no bueno is a no fucking bueno. So, you should crush it like an average fucking Tuesday. Whatever you are working on. Whatever you are saying you are doing. Whatever you are thinking you are going to do. That is what you should do, is when you should crush like an average Tuesday, because an average Tuesday is a average fucking Tuesday. So let's continue.
Not the spectacular one-time private jet with the friends to go for the what?
It's not the one-time spectacular private jet with friends to go wherever the fuck you please, to whatever the fuck you want. Because whatever you are doing, it is the perspective. It is the action. It is the thing you are leading to. It is the belief that you are going to get better. It is the actionable step that you are wanting to take with what you have now. Because if wasted time is wasted time, then why are you wasting your fucking time? Let's continue.
Whatever. Not the UFC power slap launch party with staring at the...
Not the UFC launch party with the power slap. Oh, you brought that up. Oh, that shit's funny. That shit got me almost dying laughing, Chris. Almost dying laughing. And if Chris and Hormozi is listening to this, hopefully they really enjoy this video. Hopefully they really care about this video, because I know that I really care about this video. So leave a like and save so you can come back to this video, so you can understand everything within this video, so then you can do everything that is stated within this video, so then you can learn everything, do everything, and act upon everything. Because of when you act is of when you are, and if when you are is when you will become. And when you will become is that better version, is that perspective, is that belief, is that thing. because that thing is drawing you towards it. It is thinking you towards it, and it is acting you towards it, because you know what you are, you know what you are, or sorry, you know what you are, you know what you could be, then that is the best thing for you. So let's continue.
Dan Bilzerian's dirty mullet. Like, not that. You want your average Tuesday to look the way that you want most of your life to do.
That shit hit me hard. Not the caffeine, but the fucking quote that he just said. Motherfucker. Mother absolute fucker. That is why I make my content not for little children, because I swear, because I don't give a flying fuck about what the fuck people say, think, act, do, are, because that is their better version of themselves. Hey, yeah, hold up with the flow, with the dropping on the down low. Hey, that's a terrible line. So I crashing on the vine. Alright. Time to take me acid reflex. So you want your average Tuesday to look like what you want most of your life to look like. Because if you do not want to crush an average Tuesday, then you are just wasting your time. You are wasting your energy. You are wasting your persistence. Because through this average Tuesday, through this thing, you are crushing it because you know with what you are and you know what you could be. And when you know what you are and know what you could be, then your average Tuesday is killing it. Then you're becoming that better version, doing that thing, doing that understanding, because you know what is best for you. Which is why you want the rest of your life to look like an average Tuesday, because then you won't be wasting your time, you won't be wasting your energy, you won't be wasting your perspective or whatever it is you're trying to waste, because you are wasting your time and energy, most importantly. Which means I will not be wasting my time and energy on pointless things like video games or jacking my dick off, which I don't really do, because I would rather be making content on this shit. And through this shit, I'm gonna never know where this life will lead. Which is the best part about the void and the unknown, is the void of with what we are trying to accept and what we are trying to tell each other around.
And when I think about the days that I look back on at the end of my day and think like today was a good day,
When he thinks today is a good day, you have to get everything done within that day, because you know with what you are and you know with what you do. Because you do not want to waste your time, you do not want to waste your energy, you do not want to waste your persistence around different things within your day. And what I mean by is, if you want to waste your time and energy, I'll see you on the other side, living my own life, doing my own thing, because I know with what I am, and if what I am is better than you, then that's better than me. So let's continue. Because he is wanting to live a good life. He is wanting to live a one of fulfillment, a one of pleasure, a one of understanding. And if Hormozi is listening to me, hopefully he really enjoys this video. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and save to come back to this video whenever you want to. And let me know in the comments about what other videos you want me to see me make. If it's reaction videos like this, if it's regular videos, you know my regular videos. I like to make them hit, I like to make them deep, I like to make them raw. So let's continue.
invariably, it's the same few things. I worked very hard on something that I felt was worth doing.
It's the same very few things that he worked hard, very hard on something that he felt worth doing. Whatever that worth, whatever that understanding, whatever that perspective is, it is giving you worth of living to the next day, of continually on pushing forward to live to the next day, to live to the next hour, to live to the next minute. Because if you're living a life that you hate, you can change a job within a matter of snapping your fingers to saying to your boss, I want to quit. That's all that it takes. Which is why this being my full-time job, I need to really lock in with what I do and how I say it. Because I like to bring you guys the raw emotion and bring you guys the raw feeling of whatever it is you guys are going through. Because I understand that I've been through everything. I've been through the raw, I've been through the hell, I've been through the struggle, I've been through the pain. Because I've had to relive that story countless and countless of times.
I worked out and I spent time with people that I enjoy being around. If I do those three things, I had a good day. And so that's been my, Alex's simple blueprint for doing things. And I think the point that you were making.
My simple blueprint is posting at least 5 to 10 videos per day, which is not a lot, based around reaction content or just regular videos. Schools don't count as real videos because I count those as my business videos, which I'll do 3 per day for school. So 5 to 10 videos per day, not including school videos, and 3 to 6 school videos per day. I'll try to do that. I'm trying to live up to that. I'm trying to live up to the 5 to 10 videos per day. That's what I'm trying to live up to. And if you made it this far and you want to subscribe, please subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you know whenever I post, so you can keep on rewatching these videos. So let's continue.
Earlier, I think it's worth hitting on again, which is just that you are the best employee and you are probably taking on these excess things that are super low leverage because most people's definition of work is a negative one, which is why they abhor it, which is also why they misunderstand so many people who I'll say quote here, are successful or ahead of them or whatever, is that both people, one person says the word work and the other person hears the word pain.
The one person hears the word work, the other one hears the word of pain. Pain of struggle, pain of heartbreak, pain of resilience. Without no pain, there is no work. Without no work, there is no pain, so they coexist. And through this coexistence, we must know with what we are trying to work on and what we are trying to find pain about. Because if not, then I don't know what to tell you besides seeing you on the other side, somewhere down the line.
And so the first step to becoming more successful is understanding the language that the people who are successful are used.
Understanding the language that the people that are successful is understanding the language that people who are successful that use that language. They know what to speak, they know what to say, they know what they are because they are that version of themselves. They are the billionaire, they are the millionaire of themselves because they know with what they are and they know with how they do. Because they're not wasting their time or energy based around certain perspectives and certain personas around things that they don't enjoy.
They're actually defining the word differently. And so whatever that thing is that you actually enjoy doing, where you lose track of time when you're in it, even if it's...
For me, that's making content. That's being the best version of myself over the screen because I know with what I am, because I know I'm not wasting my time and energy. I'd rather be making content than be on my ass playing video games. Seriously. And I mean that. Because I'm gaining 6 to 5 views a video on my live streams, which I know that firsthand because I know with what I am. I know my gaming content is good. So, let's continue.
Challenging, but usually it is challenging, right? It's not eat.
If it's not a challenge, there is no point to obtain it, to get it, or to achieve it. Without challenge, we are nothing without the space of time and dignity of whatever it is we are going through. And if it's not a challenge, then we may never know where this life will lead us to. Which the way I look at life is that without understanding what we are trying to do, to what we are trying to say, to what we are trying to become, then there is no version of ourselves that can lead us to that better version.
Because then it's boring, right? Which is also why the uncertainty thing is so key, right? To not knowing if it's gonna work or not.
It's the uncertainty, it's the unknown, it's the void that we are trying to live up to. It's the void that we are trying to say, act, do, believe, achieve. Without this void, there is nothing without us. There is nothing without our soul. There is nothing without our perspective. So I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste my energy on pointless things to where I see the point bottom. Which the uncertainty part is probably one of the best versions that he could have said. Not knowing if the work is going to work out. Not knowing if you are going to live up to your dreams, goals, or aspirations.
You are going to work though, either way. Is that the people who are, quote, addicted to work make it easy to be addicted to work because
the people that are addicted to work make it easy to be addicted to work because they know what they love to do, they know what they say, they know what they are, they know what they think. They know what they are trying to do because it is that better version of themselves. It is that better version of what they are trying to do, to what they are trying to say, to what they are trying to think. And through this, I know and you know that it's all about that better version of whatever it is you are trying to do. So don't waste your time, don't waste your energy, and don't waste your pointless action on basic things that is called bullshit. Don't waste your time, don't waste your energy, because I'm not going to waste my own.
do things worth doing. And
do things worth doing. If it's not worth doing, don't do it. If it's not worth achieving, if it's not worth becoming, if it's not worth being that better version, there is no point to do it. And through no point, there is no point to understand, believe, achieve, or think. And through this, these things are worth doing because they know with what we are, and they know with what we do, and they know with what we say. And if what we say is what we are and what we do is what we believe, then nobody can change us. The only person that can change us is us. So change yourself now. Do the work now, because if not, you'll be forgotten within 3 generations. I don't need to explain that anymore because I always explain it in my videos, is because you'll be forgotten within 3 generations. You'll just be another picture on the wall of your own story. So don't be forgotten.
I think a lot of it is coming down to making sure that you take the few precious seconds that we have.
Making sure that you take the few precious seconds that we have and holding it close. Because you may never know when those last seconds can be your last time, or your last perspective, or your last persona.
The few things that are worth doing for the rest of your life.
We'll get back.
The few things that are worth doing within your life. You may never know what this life will lead to. You may never know what this life will understand, believe, do, think, act, because you are so afraid of what you are trying to do now. So don't do it unless you are doing it now.
No coding ability, no marketing background, no e-commerce platform. Favorite brands still use Shopify. You need Shopify, all one. Press.
I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like and save if you want to come back. Let me know in the comments about what you enjoyed about this video, to what you want to see next in this video. And hopefully you guys learned something. If so, I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, stay you and stay unique. Peace.